My name is Brian Pillman Jr., and you're watching the Rasslin Rage YouTube show. Oh!
Let's go it down!
This is Rasslin Rage.
Do it now!
This is Rasslin Rage.
Scream it out loud!
This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
Let's go it down!
This is Rasslin Rage.
Do it now!
This is Rasslin
Scream
Rage.
it out loud!
This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
And now it's time for Rasslin Rage with your host, Cody Fleming.
Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Codizzle for Rizzle, the man, the pimp daddy, the schmoothie, whatever you want to call me nowadays, the boss man. That's what I am. From Rasslin Rage, a Michigan Independent Weekly. I am joined by Eli Shelton. I'm going to ask him a few questions here very, very shortly. But before I do that, please, if you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on Twitch, head on over to r2youtube.com. That's the letter R, the number 2, youtube.com, where you will be able to ask Mr. Eli Shelton some questions here very soon. Of course, I got to ask mine first, right? That's the privilege of being the host.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So anyways, once you do all that stuff, make sure you go right down here and you subscribe. If the button is red, you have not subscribed yet. Click it, make it gray, subscribe. Right next to that is the bell. If you click that, you will be notified when all the new content comes to the channel, or when we go live, you'll get a notification a half hour prior. Just like tonight, everybody got a half hour notification that says, hey, Cody Fleming is about to interview Eli Shelton. Come on, get on over here right now. Right, right, exactly. So, oh yeah, one last thing. Eli Shelton's social media info is down in the description. Make sure that you follow him. We ain't going to waste no time having to tell you all that stuff. Just go down there, click the link, go to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, like, subscribe, follow, tweet, do whatever you got to do. Whatever it is, do it. So, my man. Right. I like the robe, by the way.
Is it the best?
It is. That's high class right there.
The finest satin in the world. It's just the best.
Okay, I like it. So let's talk a little bit like, first of all, how long have you been a legit professional wrestler?
About 2 years now. We're well halfway into my 2-year mark.
Right, so 2 years.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Now
jump from like trainer too.
Right.
It was weird. It was a weird process.
Now 2 years you've been in.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't be that old. And I'm not going to ask you your age, but you can't be like, you're not old as I am. I know that.
I'm legal.
Okay. That's all. That's really what matters, is being legal, right? So what interested you, like, to the point of where you're like, hey, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to be a professional wrestler. Like, what made you go say, I'm going to go get trained and all that stuff? Like, was there some kind of life thing that happened, or just being a fan?
It's like all of that in one.
Okay.
So it was my senior year of high school. We fresh off our football season, state champs. And I was thinking about going to play college football. And then my dad kind of was like, hey, you've always been a wrestling fan. Why don't you try out the waters and training to be a professional wrestler? And that took me back because they were never wrestling fans. I was. And when they said that, I presented it to my lifelong friend, Jason Page. And I said, hey, let's go get trained. And we had waited on our minds for months and months. And then eventually we just decided, hey, we'll hop on with the trainer. And we did. Didn't work. Hopped onto another. Didn't work. So then we found Skull and Bones, where we're at now.
Oh, well, that's nice. Now, who is the trainers there?
That'd be CK, Crimson, Trey, Ben Boone, and Brian Castle.
Oh wow! So you got a team of guys there, and
Oh,
some names in there that are currently booked on the big leagues right now. So
absolutely.
that's good stuff. I like that guy Trey. He's pretty cool. He just, you know what I like about him the most is he's really down to earth. Like, you know, he doesn't stick his nose in the air, and he'll hang out like a normal person with the fans and stuff. He's a really, really cool guy. Like, seriously.
Yeah. The way we met was really interesting because we were at our first wrestling school, kind of, you know, and we were there just getting work in, and one of the wrestlers came in and he brought Trey with him, and then they were working on stuff, and me and Jason Page walked up and was like, could we try that? And so he taught us it, and after that I became cool with Trey, got to know him a little more. He'd ask me for rides to the airport, I'd help him out, and then the school opened up and I started, and then me and him became really close, and he really has helped me and Jason out a lot in improving our craft. And the things that we thought we knew, we had no idea on what we were doing until we really started to work with him and CK and Castle, because we could do moves.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot more to it that we didn't understand.
Right. Well, and that's learning the craft. Anything, you know, you gotta. I mean, I'm not trained in professional wrestling at all, right? You know, but I am a martial artist, and you know, I sucked once, like really bad, and you know, there's still things in martial arts that I'm not very good at, and all that means is I just need more practice at it. Are there things that you feel like you need to really work on, or is it just like, hey, I'm going out here, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing?
There's always really stuff to work on, honestly. It really, you got to try to figure yourself out and what works best for you.
Right.
What's your strengths? What's your weaknesses? Make sure to hide the weaknesses and then blow up as much positives as you can. And I think I've realized my biggest positive is my alligator mouth that always overloads my hummingbird rear end. That's literally, I love trash talking.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Now, one of my co-hosts, Danny Beals, he loves to do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Him and Goldmane go back and forth quite a bit.
I've heard him at shows.
Yeah. Goldmane and him, man, I tell you. But right now you're a little bit all over the place. Right now, you're Ohio. Well, not so much in Ohio right now, because there's
Ohio's like shut down.
Right, total shutdown for wrestling down there. But we got shows in Indiana, we got shows in Michigan. I don't know if you're booked in other places, but you're all over the place right now. So 2 years in, and you're getting pretty good bookings. How did you get to that point with all the bookings? Was it just like going out there and doing what you were supposed to and showing up, or what? How'd you do it?
Pretty much both, of who we knew and places that we'd go to, try to help out, eventually get a spot, impress them, do everything we can, do what we can do right. Mr. Chainsaw Pro Wrestling was the big one that we had tried to get to for a long time. We were helping out there for about a year. And then eventually they're like, yeah, we'll throw you in this scramble. And then after that, it was
right to the top.
Love Mikey Zero. Love him. The best dog in the world, obviously. I don't know if you've seen the drive-in show, you know that dog is our biggest fan. And we're the biggest fan of that dog.
Right. Now, aren't you and Paige the current tag champs over there?
We are.
Big Facts, right? Big Facts is the name of the tag team.
Biggest of Facts. Absolutely. Big Facts. That is a strong unit that will continue to hold those tag titles until the end of time.
Right.
So
now, does Jason Page chip himself out of stone, or how's he do that?
I don't know. I really have no idea. It feels like he snores protein. In the morning, eats a whole egg, not just like the inside of it, the yolk and the whites. He eats the shell. He is a human specimen out of this world, and I can't describe what's up with that freak of nature, but he's always been a really athletic guy. He could pick up any sport in the world. We tried to get him to play football when he was in high school, and he never did. And
Really?
that's on him, because he'd have been a pretty fine football player.
I'm sure.
But
Oh yeah.
He's a damn good wrestler. So
You
in a way,
guys have been
yeah.
friends for a long time.
Yeah, since I was like 4.
Oh really? Wow, that's way back, bro.
He was friends with my older brother, and he was the one who introduced me to wrestling.
Oh, okay.
He was hanging out at my house, and he showed us Friday Night SmackDown. And it was around that time, I think, when I started watching, it was like Undertaker and Mr. Kennedy feuding.
Oh, nice.
It was like Undertaker, Mr. Kennedy, Kane and MVP. That was going on. That was when Deuce and Domino first came onto the scene.
Dang.
Like right before WrestleMania 23, and we actually bought it. And then when the show started, they were like, "Welcome to Detroit," and I was like, "Wait a minute." It was like, why didn't I know it was in Detroit? We could have gone. But
Right. It is what it is. There's always other times. But who is somebody that a lot of people watch tape on, whatever their craft is, and then wrestling, football, whatever it is, you watch tape, right? Watch tape of yourself, tape of teams, tape other wrestlers, whatever. But is there someone that you watch some tape on to kind of like help you try to learn moves or perfect the moves that you already know?
Move wise, it's a whole slew of people. I've seen some stuff from Best Friends that they've done. Even just tag teams that were thrown together in the past. For just wrestling in general, a lot of Steve Corino, a lot of Ric Flair as of late. I've been watching so much Ric Flair.
That makes a lot of sense.
Who wouldn't want to watch Ric Flair?
Right, but that does make a lot of sense.
Dirtiest player in the game.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Absolutely. The dirtiest player in the game.
He's amazing. Like, if you can't love Ric Flair just in the ring in his presence, there's something wrong with you.
Right, yeah. You think so?
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, so
watching Ric Flair strut, the flop, just everything he does.
Yeah. I actually got to watch him do the strut live, but it was, he had some years on him. He came out to the ring and he talked a bit, but that was it. He didn't wrestle or nothing like that. He was too old. I seen him pre almost die, and then I seen him after he almost died. So,
I saw him once. It was the very last show at the Toledo Sports Arena back in 2007. So this is way back. Can't believe I'm saying that's way back. But dude, even that for me feels like just yesterday.
Right.
But it was the very last show at the Toledo Sports Arena. He was in a tag match with Carlito. I can't remember who they were facing, but he'd come out and he did all of the favorite stuff. I don't think he took one bump looking back at it, but
right.
He, chopped everybody with the woo, and it was amazing to see him. But at that time, I didn't know the real history of Ric Flair just yet, because I was still very young and didn't really get to understand until I got older and how great he really was.
Right. Well, that in anything in life, we're always learning. We're always picking things up and evolving and adapting and changing. So, the things that are in the future, I mean, man, you're 2 years in. And so, I mean, where you're at now is pretty cool in my book. So wait to 2 years from now, or 2 years, 4 years, oh my God, it's going to be amazing stuff. Right. Tell me a little bit about working for XICW, because I mean, everybody knows that watches Rasslin Rage or MIW. They know that's the spot. That's Cody's spot. If there's an XICW show, you will see Rasslin Rage in some facet there. So tell me a little bit about Rasslin Rage. First of all, how did you end up in XI?
XI, we were constantly told by Dre Jacobs, get to XI, get to XI, get to XI. And then one Sunday we were all, I think it was me, Jason Page, Sam Beal, Ace Miles. We're all just sitting around and we go, there's an XI show, let's go up. So we went up there, and Sam and Ace got a tag match against Sean, Tyler, and Carm. And me and Jason were working security, and we just kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going. And then eventually I had gotten injured, so I kind of went on the sidelines, and that was when Jason and Sam started their season of Proving Ground.
Oh, okay.
And of course, COVID hits and cancels that. Get to come back, but that first weekend I come back is the last weekend of wrestling for I don't know how many months. So,
So you came back pre-COVID then, huh?
I came back the last week before COVID.
The last show, the one. The
last show.
The last one. They were the
Maybe-
last and they were the first.
Maybe the last show at Hot Rock ever.
Right.
too.
Maybe. We don't know. We'll see how that goes. Hey, but
So be
right now, so you get into XI. Now you're not in Proving Ground, not season 7. We're not even done with season 7 because COVID hit and we don't even know what's going to happen there. We don't know if we're going to finish out the season. We don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows. Are you looking to get in on the next season or maybe a season coming up?
absolutely. Next season I'm spot, and if I get in, your boy gonna win.
Right. Okay. There you go.
In the words of myself, it's kind of just what I'm entitled to, you know?
Right. You know, it's most of the guys that are in this season right now, like we got 3 teams left. That's it. 2 Kira Clan, and then we have Shogun and Sean Tyler. And you have Warboy Dre Jacobs with TJ Meyer, and then you have Weaponized Alex Weir with Adam F. and Wick. Talk about some stacked teams, man.
Oh yeah.
When I hadn't experienced Proving Ground until, what was it, season 6 or 5, something like that, season 5. And I'm addicted. I literally, like, man, you can just give it to me now, bro. What do you think it is that people are drawn to about Proving Ground?
It's the art of competition.
Yeah.
Of course, there's competition in the ring, but there's also the competition out of the ring to try to earn that spot. It's the matter of all the stories that come with it. It's a story within a story that everyone's addicted to. And within that story, within the story, there's more stories. This is literally Inception at its finest.
Yeah.
Dickie Watts last season is the biggest example of that. Nobody expected him to win. And what happens? Him and Aaron O'Ryan run through the competition.
Right.
They became one of the most popular teams that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And now you have the dynamic of Dre and TJ, obviously the dynamic of Alex Weir and Adam Wick. And you've seen a developing chemistry with Shogun and Sean Tyler. You see it all come together in this season. I think had the best example of great chemistry. I think Jason Page and Flash Thompson had great chemistry with each other because, both kind of douchers, but, as a fellow doucher myself, I can give them that as props.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that was great. So you go, you get trained, you go out, you get your seal of approval.
Mhm.
Going back, let's go back a little bit here. You get the seal of approval and they say, all right, man, you can go out and you can go get bookings or whatever it is. Did your trainer help you get them bookings at first, or did you go out and just, go out there and earn it, setting up the rings, working security, like you said?
For the most part, we kind of did a lot of it ourselves with setup and stuff. Some shows had already had seen us training, and they were like, yeah, we'll put you on, get you on some pre-shows and stuff like that. And eventually we were able to move up the ladder in those promotions further on, and then started to get noticed by more people. One of the places that we were kind of training for, it was the first school, they had their own promotion for a while. We'd wrestle there. That's how we met Trey, and that's how Trey's wing and started training with him. And then after that, he started coming with us to a lot of shows. And if we weren't on, he'd vouch for us and he'd help us get these spots. And he's actively still trying to get us more spots on other shows, bigger ones.
Right.
And Just got to keep showing up, keep doing our thing, keep having the right attitude and not acting like an idiot.
Right. There's a lot of that nowadays.
There is way too much of that.
Amen.
Setting up, tearing down.
Yeah.
Shaking hands. Well, not shaking hands right now. Bumping
Right.
elbows.
Yeah, bumping elbows. There you go. Now,
Bumping.
I seen you, what was it? House Party 1. You come out.
Mhm.
First of all, the pants. I love the pants. Them pants are amazing. Everybody should have a pair of those pants. Well, no, wait a minute. No, they shouldn't, because then they wouldn't be as cool, right?
I don't think everyone can rock those pants the way I can.
Yeah, well, I know I can't. There's no way. It ain't happening. So, but you got those nice pants, and you take on one mysterious Movado, right? That night.
My chest still hurts.
Yeah. Now, veteran. You know, he's been around for a while. You know,
He's got a little bit of years on me, I think.
right? Yeah. You know, he's a trainer over there, House of Truth. You know, have you seen his new skin?
Where he copied my gold.
How'd he copy your gold?
Because I wear gold.
Okay. Well, what about Goldmane?
I mean, he's nice to me. He doesn't beat my chest like raw meat.
That's okay.
So
That's right.
he gets an exception.
So far, of all the matches you've had, what has been the toughest one?
Toughest. There's plenty. There's so many like that I can think of. I may have to go with the Movado ones because it's the fear of your chest getting beaten in.
Right.
He's got all that years of experience over me, and you got to try to think of something slick to get him. And anytime I think I do, the ref counts too fast and counts to 3 for some reason. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
Movado.
then. Movado it is. All right.
I think it might be taken over after Broner and Jack Price at MCPW Asshole Pandemic.
Oh boy.
Because
Broner's no joke, dude.
I'm not looking forward to getting speared. I'm going to make sure I don't get speared
Yeah, you need to
no matter what happens.
Yeah, you need to learn some evasive maneuvers or something. Get out
That's
of
what
there.
I'm-
Maybe like an elbow. I don't know. Good luck, man. But I want goals. We all have to have them, right? Got to have goals, and if you or some people say dreams, but if they're dreams and they always can just be dreams, you got to write them down and make them goals, right? What are your goals going forward? Because wrestling is starting to come back, not everywhere, but it is coming back. We last weekend here in Michigan, we only had one show and that ended up getting canceled. This weekend, we have 2 shows here in Michigan that we know about, and any other shows that are going on, within Indiana or anywhere else. So going forward, what are some goals that you have for you in professional wrestling specifically?
Right now, the goal is to get to Chicago. Everyone knows that's like the mecca for indie wrestling. Get to Chicago, keep getting better, keep grinding at training, keep going, and obviously getting signed, because that's the end goal for us. So we love this. This is a passion for us, but this is also a job for us.
Right.
And the best opportunities are for people who get signed. And if I can showcase myself enough to earn a contract, that tells me I'm doing something right, but it also has to be a reminder not to get complacent, because I had to work hard to get there, not to work hard to stay there. So that's my goal, is to keep working up and eventually get signed and then take over wrestling. Because who doesn't want to be the top star, especially with this face? This is a sellable face. Some people say punchable. I say sellable.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're not the best, then what are you doing it for?
Exactly.
There you go.
People want to do it for just a hobby, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just know that that's not me, and that won't be. This is my job. This is my goal. This is my end game, per se. My goal is get to the top, be at the top, retire at the top.
Hey, I can't argue with that one. I cannot argue with that one. There is absolutely zero things wrong with that, for sure. I like it. I really do like that. That's probably one of the best answers I've had so far, man. I like it. Very eloquent too. Eloquent, just right? Puts it out there and lets everybody knows, dude. You know. Now, guys, remember down in the description down there is links to Eli Shelton's social media. He's got Twitter, he's got Facebook, he's got Instagram. Now, I know I seen on your Facebook you have an email. Is it bookeli@gmail? What was it?
bookshelton@yahoo.com.
All right, Book Shelton.
Inquiries, send them there.
Yeah, so bookshelton@yahoo.com. I did not put that down there. I should probably do that.
I forgot to send you that until you looked down at my Facebook, so that's kind of on me too.
Well, you know, life goes on, you know. But let's see here. What veteran would you want in Proving Grounds?
That's a real good question.
That's
if I could, if Trey was an option, I'd definitely go with him.
Well, that's
to go with past one.
That's probably a really good option if there was.
I feel like me and Flash Thompson would mesh well.
Okay.
You know, I think he'd be great. If I was to prevent certain death, maybe Dre Jacobs, because that's something I would not want to die at the hands of him. And you know, if they're, I'm not sure because they change him up all the time.
Right.
But yeah, I think, you know, Dre Jacobs, Flash Thompson, those are easily the top three that I would definitely choose.
All right. That's pretty good, man. Colton, you got to be happy with that answer, dude. Colton's always in the chat. Colton's a cool kid, dude. So again, guys, I want to say thank you so much to Mr. Shelton here for joining us. Oh, by the way, when are you giving me your Barry Sanders shoes?
Never.
Ah!
Those things aren't cheap.
Man,
and
those things are sharp.
No, they are amazing.
Those things are sharp. He's gonna go get them. He's gonna rub it in my face.
You bet I am. Take a look at that.
Oh man, those things are sharp too.
It is the best dang shoe I have ever seen in my life. Look at the lions.
It's got the berry on it. Oh yeah.
It says elusive right there.
Oh man.
This is just a high quality shoe worthy of a high quality man like myself.
I love those shoes, dude. Barry Sanders shoes. Yeah, they're great shoes. So everybody, right, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Make sure that you follow Eli Shelton on his social media. Email him if you want to book him, right? We bookshelton@yahoo.com. We'll put that in there again. And as always, if you scroll down in the description, there is a link to Podbean where you'll be able to find the audio content of this interview as well as many others and Rasslin Rage and Michigan Independent Weekly, because we're almost at a year of doing MIW now. That's crazy. That's nuts. 3 years for Rage, almost a year for MIW. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy journey, but it's fun. I like it.
You've been killing it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Again, guys, smash that thumbs up. And if you haven't already, head on over to r2youtube.com. The letter R, the number 2, youtube.com, and give us a subscribe. Thank you, Mr. Shelton. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.
Have a great night.
It's going down.
This is Rasslin Rage.
Do it now.
This is Rasslin Rage.
Scream it out loud.
This is Rasslin Rage. Cody Fleming is the man who leads the brigade.
It's going down.
This is Rasslin Rage.
Do it now.
This is Rasslin Rage.
Scream it